I'm illegally parked, I know, part of my French and my Mercedes. But I have no excuse for this flea market shirt I'm wearing. My motley crew is beastie, and we enjoy the staring. I'm unemployed and daring. How dare I be so cool when it's so hot in Alabama? Sometimes we get snow too. And I'm as rare as a white Christmas in Miami, really. The temperature's dropping on South Beach, the ocean's getting chilly. But I'm driving, my people, the party, yeah. Some drinking, get rowdy, party. And I went out with a buddy or two, and it was all. And we got to the bar by the 1:45, and it was all. And we got going, 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 and we got going. Yes, I jumped off the boat, and I'm sinking in my chair, cause my beer bottle does not float. Help me now. Please enjoy the show. I done come up so fast that I'm afraid of heights. I gotta go, help me down, or I'll just learn to balance somewhere between commercial dreams and music that is valid. My babies need to eat, so I create a simple sound. The fiasco threw me for a loop. Hey, I dumbed it down, slick, wicked vibe, and driving. I'm driving, my people, the party, yeah. Some drinking, get rowdy, party. And I went out with a buddy or two, and it was all. And we got to the bar by the 1:45, and it was all. And we got going, 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 and we got going. Yeah, my people are riding, and trucks and wheels are resized. In such a world I reside, and your luck runs low with your pride. And enough to keep you about at the club and troubles around. I got them car keys in hand, I know what the fuck's going down. Some of these people come sick, some pop the trunk for AKs. They wanna do bodily harm, they wanna live for the day. We just came to get stupid, so give me that bottle of Crown. I'll take my girl to my Caprice and get the fuck out of town. Come on, girl. And I'm driving, my people, the party, yeah. Some drinking, get rowdy, party. And I went out with a buddy or two, and it was all. And we got to the bar by the 1:45, and it was all. And we got going, and we got going, and we got going. And we got going, and we got going, and we got going.
Here come the soul survivor. You better hang out your window on this one, man. Let everybody know Yellow Wolf's coming, B.
Don't wake up in the morning thinking that I gotta pull a rabbit out my head and do a trick or two. Why? Cause drinking ain't a part of the remedy. I to independently with an inner city state of mind. Stupid is sticking my shoes straight from the way back, tripping over white boy bread traps. They invented for criminals granted with their mean balls. Give them a helmet with no fucking chin strap, and let the powers that be leave his ring and singing the wolf song, bringing my own home. To sweep the CDs, to sleep with heat that creeps to your sheets and leaves you in tune. The beast we speak, deleting DB. The Greek is knee deep, these seats got no room. So move your feet and swing your elbows to stay or upload. I knew it's new. Yeah, yeah. Hang out your window, man, one time. Ride down the highway, 20 East to be exact. Come down my way, where the lime green Lexus at. Post on a Friday, in the dogwood cabin with a chunk that a stacked up honeydew. Sip, sip on the moonshine, must be dying. Ride down the highway, 20 East to be exact. Come down my way, where the lime green Lexus at. Post on a Friday, in the dogwood cabin with a chunk that a stacked up honeydew. Sip, sip on the moonshine, must be dying. You better get up and have a cup of hot choke before the people arise and put a block on the view. Cause I throw a blanket over a baby's head to keep the competition from capitalizing on truth. Still with a stick in my shoe, straight from the way back, tripping over white boy rap traps. They have been innocent criminals, throwing a mean slug. Take their helmet off, give them a bitch slap. Then devour their dreams, my soul has meaning singing the wolf song, clinging to raw proof. Too deep for these geeks to reach. I leave creek, eternally burning phoenix birds and mushrooms. We seek the peace of what's beneath the feet, not what's on the streets or on the moon. So shuffle the leaves beneath your cold toes and watch your uproar. You know what to do. Yeah, I told you, man. Hang out your window. Ride down the highway, 20 East to be exact. Come down my way, where the lime green Lexus at. Post on a Friday, in the dogwood cabin with a chunk that a stacked up honeydew. Sip, sip on the moonshine, must be dying. Ride down the highway, 20 East to be exact. Come down my way, where the lime green Lexus at. Post on a Friday, in the dogwood cabin with a chunk that a stacked up honeydew. Sip, sip on the moonshine, must be dying. We, son and daughter, slaughtered with products. Put your money away and prepare for the heat. Call it what you call it, but the boat they haul it on probably carry you and me. Still with a stick in my shoe, straight from the way back, tripping over white boy rap traps. For my incentive and incentive is intention of the game at your brain, flashing your chin strap. Listen close for the subliminal error when I sing a wolf tune, speaking my raw roots. I read my speech beneath the weak tree to leeches, release the blood it consume. I need the beast, but beasts need me to breathe, so I give producers long room. So spread your wings and leave for your soul. The sun will roll with weird or without you. Come on, roll your fucking window down. Tell the world, ride down the highway, 20 East to be exact. Come down my way, where the lime green Lexus at. Post on a Friday, in the dogwood cabin with a chunk that a stacked up honeydew. Sip, sip on the moonshine, must be dying. Ride down the highway, 20 East to be exact. Come down my way, where the lime green Lexus at. Post on a Friday, in the dogwood cabin with a chunk that a stacked up honeydew. Sip, sip on the moonshine, must be dying. Yeah, it's the men with no bone. Ride down the highway, 2000 and we hang out your window. Tell the world, tell the wolf, Ben Hameen. Time is now. Brainiacs, Cherokee.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Good afternoon. It's your boy, Pace Game Pete. Happy draft day to everybody. I don't know. I'm excited, man. First of all, I love the draft to begin with, right? I know some people love college football. Some people love the NFL. I happen to love both. I'd say I probably love college football a little bit more if I had to pick one. But anyway, the draft day is one of my favorite days of the year. And being that we've all been quarantined for the past 6 weeks, which feels more like 18 to 20 weeks, if you ask me, the first real live sports event that we've seen. Now, it's going to be a little bit weird, not seeing a big party where everybody's gathered in a room and bringing the players up on stage and all that sort of thing. But look, it's better than nothing. And by the way, this draft tonight has the ability or the possibility of being one of the most exciting, compelling drafts we've seen in a long time. Not because of the coronavirus thing, but because of all the different scenarios that can play out. The only thing we know for sure, or at least I think I know for sure, is that Joe Burrow is going number one to Cincinnati. We've already seen the owner of the Cincinnati Bengals welcome Joe Burrow to Cincinnati. So I think, that would be an ultimate troll job if they didn't. He's clearly going to go to Cincinnati. That's not going to be a shocker. Probably Chase Young, number 2 to the Redskins. But after that, it gets real sticky. And there's a lot of different teams. I mean, I got shit written down here, but let's just look at the quarterback class. So you got Tua, Herbert, Love, Eason, Hurts, and Jack Fromm, right? We know Burrow's going number 1. Tua could go anywhere from number 3 all the way down to number 21. I think did the Patriots pick 21st? Let me see this. No. New England picks 23. 21st is the Eagles. All right, so all the way down to 23. There's also been some rumors that the Patriots could possibly trade up to who did they trade with? I think they said the number 14 with Tampa Bay or somewhere around there, 14 or 15, to draft Jordan Love, which would be interesting. But here's one thing I do know for sure. As far as these quarterbacks are concerned, Jordan Love is going to go higher than people think he is. He played at Utah State, so a lot of people don't really, didn't see him play. I didn't see him play a lot, but I've been watching film over the past couple of weeks on a lot of these different players, highlights, film, and Jordan Love's the real deal. He's probably one of the, look, Tua has an elite arm. He's got question marks with health, right? If Tua didn't get his hip broken at the end of last year, he probably would be the number 1 overall pick in the draft. Mel Kiper a year ago. Mel Kiper. This guy's the weatherman of the draft. What do I mean by that? I mean, he can be wrong every single day and nobody seems to care. He's still the guy everybody talks about. He had Joe Burrow a year ago in the 6th round. The 6th round. There's only 7 rounds. So basically he had him being, barely drafted, and now he's got him as the number 1 pick. Anyway, if Tua was healthy, I think he would have been the number 1 pick in this draft. The injuries are a big concern for a lot of people. There's probably 5 different teams that you could conceive him being picked at tonight. The Dolphins, obviously. The Lions already said they're sticking with Stafford. If he would have somehow fallen to 7, would the Panthers be looking for a future quarterback? I know they signed Teddy Bridgewater. I'm under the impression that the Panthers are going towards either Justin Fields or Trevor Lawrence in the 2021 draft. What they do tonight will give me a lot of backup or tell me I'm wrong about that. Obviously, personally, I want to see the Panthers draft Isaiah Simmons at 7. I don't know if he'll fall that far or not. If you listen to the Giants fans and the Giants front office, which you can't really believe anything the front office says this time of year because all they're doing is lying about who they might take to throw other teams off or whatever. You never know what they're going to do. But it looks like the Giants might be taking an offensive lineman, which would most likely make Simmons fall to 7. And would the Panthers pass on Isaiah Simmons at 7? Or if Okuda's still there at 7 from Ohio State, would they pick up one of them? I mean, listen, the Panthers, they've got needs all over the place. They need every position on defense they have holes in. So they need defensive line, they need an edge rusher, they need linebacker, they need cornerback, they need safety. I mean, they need every position on defense. They don't need running back, obviously, with McCaffrey and the guys they have there. Wide receiver they do need, but they definitely don't need a wide receiver in the first round with the 7th pick. That would be disastrous. And the other thing is offensive line. So Carolina could conceivably already have their mind set on one of these offensive linemen. Let's look at some of these offensive linemen. This is going to be probably a record set tonight, if not a record very close to it, for the amount of offensive linemen taken in the first round. Let's look at some of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7. Most likely there's going to be at least 7 offensive linemen taken in the first round of the draft this year, which is crazy. This is in no particular order, just naming the 7 that will probably be picked in the first round. Jedrick Willis Jr. from Alabama, Tristan Wirfs from Iowa, Andrew Thomas from Georgia, Mekhi Becton from Louisville, Josh Jones from Houston, Ezra Cleveland from Boise State, and Cesar, I don't know how you pronounce the guy's name, Ruiz from Michigan. You'll see some other linemen taken in the second. There's probably going to be 30 offensive linemen taken in the first few days, which is a crazy number. But that's your top 7 probably they're going to be taken. So, offensive line, big draft for them. It's going to be a huge draft for wide receivers. Let's look at some of these wide receivers. I mean, there's a shit ton of them. They can't all go in the first round because there's just too many of them. But obviously, you got Jerry Jeudy. You got T. Higgins from Clemson. You got Henry Ruggs. You got Jefferson from LSU. CeeDee Lamb. This guy from Colorado, I don't know if you guys know who this guy is, but this guy will be taken ahead of he'll probably go in the first round. If not in the first round, early in the second round. Wide receiver out of Colorado is an absolute stud. You probably never heard of him because Colorado sucks, and then we don't see a lot of Pac-12 games over here on the East Coast where most of us live in college football land. But Laviska Shenault, that's how you say his name, or Laviska, I don't know how you say it. Anyway, go look him up on YouTube at some point tonight. The guy's an absolute stud. Michael Pittman. This other kid from, where was he at? From Arizona State, I think. Brandon Ayuk. That kid's a baller, too. Brian Edwards from South Carolina. Another really good player. So, yeah, there's a ton of wide receivers. I didn't even begin to touch. There's probably 50 to 60 wide receivers that will be drafted in this draft, which isn't a crazy number as well. So there you have it. That's it. Running backs, you might see 1 or 2 go in the first round. Probably not. If I had to guess, you might see 1. The question is, you got J.K. Dobbins. You got Jonathan Taylor. Hold on. Who else we got here for running backs? Taylor, Dobbins. Clyde Edwards-Helaire from LSU. The 2 other big running back prospects that decided to come back for their senior year, obviously Travis Etienne, and then you had the guy from Oklahoma State as well, who was supposed to be a high draft pick. Let me see who's in the chat here real quick. And I've got the draft on ESPN. I know they're playing on ABC as well. I don't know what the difference is. I'm going to watch it on ESPN, I guess. I don't really think it matters. I'm assuming they're just going to have different commentators on the different channels. I don't know. Maybe it'll be the same exact broadcast. Let me see who's in the chat here real quick. Ballard Sports Media's in house. Prince 6'1", Jay Jobs, NASCAR Vol, SEC Dog. How you doing, sir? Coulter Gask. He says Simmons is going later than the 4th, though. Isn't going later than the 4th. He might. If he falls to the Giants and the Giants take an offensive lineman, like a lot of people think they will, then he'll probably fall to Carolina. Because I think at that point, Miami's going to take a quarterback probably. Although there's talk about Miami trying to trade up to 3 and Jacksonville trying to trade up to 3. A lot of teams want to trade up to number 3. Rumors about Jacksonville. Jacksonville picks number 9, I think, right? Yeah, Jacksonville picks 9. If they traded up to 3, it would only be for one reason, to get a quarterback. You wouldn't trade up to number 3, I don't think, to get a defensive player or a wide receiver, as deep as this wide receiver class is, so that wouldn't make any sense. So anyway, we'll see. But yes, my point is he could possibly fall. He could possibly fall outside of the top 4. And I hope he does. I hope he goes to Carolina. It would really throw me for a loop if somehow, for some reason, Carolina traded up to get a quarterback like Tua or Herbert, or if one of those quarterbacks fell to Carolina and they took a quarterback. I'd be shocked if Carolina took a quarterback. That would be shocking to me. I'm very eager to see what they're going to do. I'm not going to really be upset with what they do unless it's a wide receiver or something. If they take an offensive lineman, I won't be mad at that. If they take Simmons, I definitely won't be mad at that. If they took a quarterback, I might have some reservations depending on who it is. Clemson Carson's in the house. Tiger Nation, my man. The real McCoy. Robert Lewis. Simmons will go top 5 so a GM doesn't eat that Watson type overlook. Go Chicago. Trubisky has been a beast. Yeah. Trubisky's a backup quarterback now. I don't know if you heard about that. Jordan Bowman. How you doing, sir? Dade Star Mysteries. I almost said Dade Star Ministries. Dade Star Mysteries. By the way, cheers and dilly dilly. Found a beer that had Carolina Blue on it, so I figured that would be a good one to drink tonight. Gator Hater. Noel Nation. How you doing, sir? DeGoat Watson's in the house. Oh, yeah, Kelly Bryant, he's in this draft, too. He'll probably go in this 5th or 6th round. Maybe. Crimson Brave 2020. Dennis Wilson. Dade Star Mystery says he has no interest in the NFL draft. He's just stopping in to say last video was awesome, as they all are. Well, thank you, sir. I'll take it. You don't have to be interested in the draft if you're interested in just hanging out. The reason I love the NFL draft, first of all, I love the NFL, but outside of that, being a fan of football at every level, from high school to college to the NFL, this is the one night a year that college football and the NFL merge. You get to see, listen, even if you're not an NFL fan, maybe you want to see where your favorite college players are being drafted or how high they're being drafted or whatever it is. And if you're a fan like me who likes both, I get to watch where my favorite Clemson players are being drafted. I also get to see who's coming to the team that I love and the teams I hate too. That's important to see where the guys get drafted to the teams that you don't like, right? So the best of both worlds for me would be one of my favorite Clemson players coming to my team in Carolina. That would be great. Haven't seen that happen in a while. I'm trying to remember when the last one was. As far as a high draft pick, I don't think there was one. I've heard that the Saints have their eye on Simmons and would be willing to trade up to get Isaiah Simmons. And again, this is where it falls for me. Being a Simmons fan and a Panthers fan and a Saints hater, the last thing I want to do is see is Isaiah Simmons go to the Saints. I'd rather see him go anywhere else. If it's not to Carolina, I don't want it to be in the NFC South. I'll tell you that. Jake Fromm will probably go 3rd round. He's probably a 3rd round guy, but I think he might go higher. When you get past the top 5 quarterbacks, there's not a lot of other options. Not a very deep draft as far as quarterbacks go. So Fromm, he's going to be lucky in that way. I think that Fromm will he'll go higher than the 3rd round. He'll go sometime in the 2nd round probably, even though he shouldn't. He probably will. Slim Shady Canes with a $2 super chat says, Gronk. Dude, the geriatric Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they better start drafting some guys that are young because the average age of that team is going through the roof. If they don't win a Super Bowl this year, it's over, buddy. It's going to take them 10 years to rebuild from signing all these big dollar old men, the geriatric Buccaneers. Crimson Brave 2020. I'm glad you asked me that question. He asked me what round do I think that Jalen Hurts is going to be drafted in. I'm going to say he's going to get drafted in the 3rd round. I would not be surprised to see him go in the 3rd or 4th round to the Baltimore Ravens. Why? Because the Baltimore Ravens offense is built around a guy named Lamar Jackson. And I think that Jalen Hurts is a perfect fit there. What if Lamar Jackson gets hurt? Jalen Hurts is a guy that can come in and run that offense the way that they want to run it without having to switch it up. with a guy like Jalen Hurts. So that would be a good fit for him. I know he probably doesn't want to be a backup quarterback, but he could, he's only one play away from being the starter for maybe an entire season or more. So, yeah, I'd say Ravens. But I'd still say third round. No matter who gets him, I don't see him falling out of the 3 round. I really like Jalen Hurts. I really like all these quarterbacks in this draft, honestly. I like Burrow. I'm a fan of his. I'm a fan of Tua. I'm a fan of Herbert. Jordan Love I'm a fan of. I like Jalen Hurts. I even like Jake Fromm. I just don't think he's going to be a very good pro. I just don't think he has the arm strength to be a starting NFL quarterback. But I like all of them. I don't really dislike any of them. I heard that rumor too. Clemson Carson, by the way, he's a Patriots fan. Go figure that one out. Anyway, that is what it is. But he's saying he doesn't want Jake Fromm to come to New England. I've heard that rumor all off season, leading up to the draft, that Fromm would fit right into the Bill Belichick. In what world? I don't understand what the correlation there is. Are they trying to say that he's Tom Brady-like? No. Stop it with that. There's zero similarities between Jake Fromm and Tom Brady. The only similarity is that they're both dorky white guys. Outside of that, I'm not seeing any similarities in the way they play football. I'm not even necessarily seeing any similarities in their personality. I mean, I'm not making the connection here. I don't understand what the fascination with Jake Fromm going to the Patriots is. I don't get it. Yeah, let's talk about some of these other players while we're at it. I went over the wide receivers and running backs and the top 7 or so offensive linemen. Let's talk about some safety. You got Grant Delpit. He'll go in the first round from LSU. LSU has the chance to not only break the school record. I think LSU's school record for the amount of players drafted in one draft is 12 or 11. They're definitely going to break their school record this year because they'll probably have anywhere from 15 to 16 players drafted. If they do draft, I think the national record is 14. I probably should have written this down. I think the national record from one team in a draft is 14, and I think that's Ohio State. I don't know what year it was. Like 2000, early 2000s, I think. There's a good chance that the LSU could break their school record and the national record this week in the draft. If they get 15 to 16 players drafted, which they probably are, then they'll break their record. Anyway, Grant Delpit out of LSU. Tanner Muse, safety, also out of Clemson. He's probably a third round, fourth round guy. Derek Brown, defensive lineman. What's his name from South Carolina? Kinlaw from South Carolina, another defensive lineman. Obviously, Chase Young, Okuda, all those guys. A.J. Terrell, I think he'll go in the first round. I think there's probably a good chance that you'll see 3 first-rounders out of Clemson. 2 for sure, maybe 3. We'll see where Terrell goes. But you're going to have, obviously, Simmons will go in the top 10 most likely, certainly in the first round no matter what happens. And then you'll have T. Higgins, I think, will be drafted in the first round, and I think A.J. Terrell will be drafted in the first round. Either Higgins or Terrell could possibly slip out of the first round if that team that's should take them passes on them. Again, the wide receiver class is really deep, but most likely you're going to see 3 Tigers go tonight. We'll see. Slim Shady Canes with a $2 super chat. Pete, Miami 2001 holds the record, sir. Is it? Are you sure? I thought I heard tonight Ohio State. You might be right. You might be right. Don't quote me on that. I believe you if you're telling me that. Maybe that was it. How many was it? It was 14? 14 players in that draft? Which is a crazy number. I mean, when you think about it, you've got 11 starters on one side of the ball. That's an entire one side of the ball plus 3 more. That's crazy. Yeah, Kayvon Wallace. He'll probably go in the second round. I think Kayvon will go in the second round. NBC says Ohio State in 2004. See, that's what I read or heard. Can't remember if I read it or heard it. Anyway, I either read it online or I heard it on TV. I can't remember which one it was. But that's what I heard, too. I heard Ohio State had like 12 or 13. Might have been 14. Something around there. Let's see. So, all right, here we go. It's 8 o'clock. And, of course, they like to drag this shit on. I'll be surprised if I make it the entire 3 hours for this draft. That's, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But, yeah, they're going to drag it out. They should have done their pregame or pre-show bullcrap from 7 to 8 and then just put Cincinnati right on the clock right at 8 p.m. I don't know what they're waiting on. Anyway, what are you guys looking forward to seeing the most tonight? Now I know I got fans of all different teams in here, so you're probably looking forward to seeing what your team does. But just type in the chat. You're looking forward to seeing where. I'll tell you what I'm fascinated with tonight. Outside of what Carolina does, I'm fascinated to see what's going to happen with Herbert and Tua and Love. Those 3 players, the 3 quarterbacks. We know where Burrow's going. I'm stoked to see, especially Tua. Because like I said, if Tua didn't have the hip injury, I think that he would be the first overall player taken in this draft. But he did, so he won't be. But, he like I said, he could go as high as 2 or 3. Probably not 2 to Washington, but 3. He could fall as low as 20-something. So, like, there's a big window there. Another one, Jeff Okudah from Ohio State. A lot of people think he could be taken number 3. But he's another guy, like Simmons, like a lot of these other players on defense, that if they're not taken by that one team in the top 5, they could fall 10 more spots, right? You just don't know. I mean, probably not, but Kuda could be number 3 or Kuda could be number 13, right? I mean, who knows? So a lot of uncertainty tonight with the order that some of these players are going to be picked in. Probably more this year than I've seen in the past few years. A lot of that has to do with the fact that there's so many elite offensive linemen and so many teams that need offensive line that the offensive linemen aren't sexy, so they're not talked about a lot outside of their own fan base. And so they throw a monkey wrench in things, right? Like, again, like with number 4 pick with the Giants, right? Any other year, almost any other year, if Isaiah Simmons is sitting there and they don't need a quarterback, which they don't, or they're not going to draft, they're going to take Simmons. But this year they might not take Simmons because they need offensive line. There's a possibility that the Giants might draft 2 offensive linemen in the first 2 rounds. 2. Now you got several teams here that don't even have a first-round pick, right? Because they traded them away. The Bills don't have a first-round pick, right? I think there might be one other team that doesn't have a first-round pick. I know the Bills don't. All right, looks like it's coming on here. Giving their little coronavirus speech, like we don't know what the hell's going on. It's a good thing that ESPN's here to remind us that we're all stuck in our house for the past 6 weeks. We would have forgot if it weren't for them. All right, guys. What I'm going to do is take like a 3-minute break. Don't go anywhere before this starts. I just got to fill up my drink and take a leak. Be right back. All right, now they got the national anthem on. I want to thank all of you guys that are joining me tonight. How many people we got in here tonight? So we got 21 people in here tonight. Every single YouTuber on the planet that has ever seen a sporting event in their life is probably live streaming right now. So the fact that you are over here watching with me, I appreciate it. Let's get the show on the road, man. They're making this all about the virus. Like everything that we read and see on TV is about COVID-19. Everything. Can we take 3 hours and not talk about COVID-19 and just talk about football, for Christ's sake? What's up, Gerald Higgs? You must have missed the earlier monologue I did. But yeah, hopefully. I hope that Simmons goes to Carolina. I hope he falls that far. I still think there's a good chance he could if the Giants pass on him for an offensive lineman. That's really the only scenario I could see. I don't see him going past the Giants if that doesn't happen. And if he does go past the Giants, there's a good chance that he will be passed on by both Miami and the Chargers at 5 and 6. So we'll see. I hope so. I'll be ecstatic. I'll be ecstatic if they get Simmons. But again, I won't be mad if the Panthers take an offensive lineman. I won't be mad if they take a defensive lineman. I won't be mad if they picked up Okudah or Delpit. Yeah, I mean, listen, the Panthers need a lot of stuff, man. They need a lot of stuff. Derek Brown's a good one. I'd take him. Yeah. 7's a good spot to be in because you're not going to. 7 is perfect spot. Anything in the top 10 is a good spot to be in. If you play your cards right, you're going to get an elite player 9 times out of 10. Unless you pick a bust of a quarterback or a bust of a receiver or something, which Carolina's done that twice now, taking a receiver in the first round and flopped on both of them in the past decade or so. But with the departure of Luke Kuechly at linebacker, let me show you this. Let me show you this stat. This is an unbelievable stat, by the way. Talking about Isaiah Simmons. Let me pull this up real quick. All right, so some of you may have seen this. This is the snap count for Isaiah Simmons for the past 2 seasons. So 2019 and 2018 seasons. Listen to this. How many snaps he took at each position? Cornerback, slot left, 446 snaps. Cornerback, slot right, 377 snaps. Left outside linebacker, 182 snaps. Safety, 177 snaps. Right outside linebacker, 156 snaps. Left inside linebacker, 60 snaps. Right inside linebacker, 56 snaps. Middle linebacker, 37 snaps. Right safety, 29 snaps. Left safety, 15 snaps. Cornerback wide left, 14 snaps. And cornerback wide right, 7 snaps. So I didn't add all that up. It's somewhere, it's over 1,000 snaps at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 different positions over 2 years. He's played every position on the defense except for defensive tackle. Every position. I mean, look. Any team that doesn't want him, that doesn't need a quarterback, would be a fool not to draft him. Unless I can understand Chase Young because edge rusher is such an important position in college and in the NFL, especially in the NFL. I mean, it's hard to pass on Chase Young if you're Washington. But after that, like the debate over Okudah versus Simmons, I mean, the 2 different positions, but it depends on what your team needs. I'm one of these guys. You have 2 different types of people that have draft philosophies in the NFL. And you have two different, and not just for fans, but also for GMs and coaches. Do you take the best available player, or do you take the best available player for the position that you're trying to fill? I'm a best available player guy. Obviously, unless it's a quarterback. In other words, if you're Kansas City, let's say that Kansas City had a top 5 pick this year. Obviously, they don't. They're number 32 because they won the Super Bowl. But let's say they did have a top 5 pick. They don't need a quarterback, so they'd be stupid to draft Herbert or Tua or Love or whoever else, even if they're the best available player, because they don't need a quarterback. But outside of that position, I don't care if you have an elite defensive end. If Chase Young's there, you take him. I don't care if you have an elite linebacker. If Isaiah Simmons is there, you take him. So on and so forth, right? I mean, just take the player that is most likely not going to be a bust and that will be worth the money that you're going to pay him over the next 5 years of his contract, of his rookie contract. So that's the way I look at it. Now, everyone's got their different things. People want certain players at certain positions. I get all that. I'm more of a best available player guy, though. That's always been my philosophy. All right. Hopefully they're about to start this shit now. This is getting ridiculous. It's a 8:15. I'm waiting to see something get messed up here. They got everybody on Skype and Zoom videos. Look, from somebody who's been using Skype and Zoom videos for YouTube, I can tell you a lot of times the shit just don't work. And the chances that all 60 of those are going to work the way they want them to is 0. Somebody's going to be jacked up. That's been one of the, I'm not to make light of this whole COVID-19 situation. It's terrible for everybody, including me. But watching the sports media and the media in general all turn into YouTubers overnight. Like it used to be, they were on set. They had these, these fancy sets with the lighting and the makeup and the suits. It's like they went from that to all of a sudden you see this guy, you see Michael Irvin sitting in his closet of his house. You can see his damn clothes hung up behind him. Cats walking by. He's in there, and the TV screen's all glitchy and looking like me up here trying to broadcast out of my man cave. Every ESPN guy, every Fox Sports guy, every news person, they all look like YouTubers. And the funny thing is, they're not used to it, so they're even worse at it than we are. They're worse at it than I am. That's pretty bad. Come on, man. This is the cheesiest shit I've ever seen. Are you guys watching ESPN or ABC? Let me see if it's the same thing. Oh, my God. Roger Goodell is a cheese ball, man. Yeah, it's the same thing on ABC as it is on ESPN. He just played a video clip of them booing him. Cincinnati's on the clock. All right, here we go. Joe Burrow going once. Joe Burrow going twice. Joe Burrow sold to the Cincinnati Bengals for a hot dog and a cheeseburger. I feel sorry for Joe Burrow. Cincinnati, a lot of people think that Cleveland's the worst run organization in the NFL. I beg to differ. I think it's Cincinnati. The owner of the Cincinnati Bengals is notorious for being a big-time cheapskate. Like, they have the worst facilities, practice facilities, locker room. The stadium's falling apart. Like, this guy will not spend $1. I heard that, like, you would think in the NFL, like these college facilities like Clemson and Alabama and Ohio State, all the top ones. I mean, you got what you want. You can go get your filet mignon dinner at any moment of the day. They got everything. You name it. Go to Cincinnati, they don't have that. They got water fountains, son. You thirsty? There's a water fountain over there. Go get your empty Gatorade bottle and fill it up. We won't even give you a cup. We're too cheap to buy cups. That's Cincinnati for you. They are cheap. So I feel sorry for Joe Burrow. He's going to the cheapest franchise. Now he's going to have a fat wallet, so I don't really feel that sorry for him. But yeah, of all the places, I would rather go to Cleveland if I was him. I'd rather go anywhere else, honestly, than Cincinnati. Tampa's ownership's been potato over the years. Well, most of them have been potato. I mean, the most profitable and biggest sports franchise in the world, I think, is the Dallas Cowboys. And Jerry Jones is a potato as far as football goes. He's not potato as far as making money. Hell of a businessman, hell of a promoter, but he's a dumbass when it comes to football. Listen, the Carolina Panthers had a stable organization for 20 years, and then Jerry Richardson, guy's like 80-something years old. He's out there pulling his dick out to secretaries or whatever he was doing over there. I mean, talk about crazy. Yeah, so that's not exactly stable, is it? What did I just do? I just did something. I just made somebody a moderator by accident. I don't know who it was. I either made somebody a moderator or took them off. I was trying to push something else. What's up, Bama boy? I don't know what I did. I don't know. I'll try to figure it out. I'll try to figure it out later. I pushed something. Maybe I hope I didn't block somebody. I definitely did something I wasn't supposed to do. I don't think I blocked anybody. Hold on, let me go look. I thought it said something about moderator. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. It's all good. No, you're not blocked. I can see you. I hope I didn't block somebody. If I did, if I did block somebody and you're watching, I didn't mean to. I'll figure it out in a minute, or later. I don't think I did. It's all good. See, this is what pisses me off is they've been on the clock now for like 4 minutes. 3 minutes, I guess. And everybody in the world already knows who they're taking because they've made it public. And they're still taking their whole time on the clock to put the pick in. Just put the pick in. Let's get on with it. And drama queens. Exactly, McD Sports 4. That's what I said. Trying to build suspense about what? There's no suspense. Everybody already knows who they're picking. This is just them trying to get their 5 minutes of shine. You know, the Bengals are on the clock. Like anybody gives a shit about the Bengals outside of Cincinnati. Nobody does. What's up, Tiger Raven? How you doing? Yeah, the movie Draft Day with Kevin Costner, right? Is that the movie you're talking about? I love that movie. That's a good movie. I like Kevin Costner anyway, but yeah, it's a good movie. Dennis Wilson says, it's funny how A.J. Terrell is on all of Joe Burrow's first pick highlights. It's funny how there's no Miami highlights at all because nobody wants to highlight losing every game. Yeah, I've seen Draft Day. It's good. Yeah, Kevin Costner is the let me see, is he the owner, or he's either the owner or the general manager of the Browns in that movie? I think he's the general manager. Slim Shady Canes, man. Here you go.
Hi, my name is. What? My name is. My name is. It's named Sadie.
Terrell will go in the first round. You can say what you want to about him. Hey, ask Alabama about A.J. Terrell. See what they say. He had a pick 6 in the 2018 Natty game. All right, the pick is in. Finally. So where's all the Ohio State fans that are now claiming Joe Burrow is a Buckeye? Yeah. He played there for 3 years. But guess what he did for 3 years while he was playing there? He didn't play. And he left because he wasn't playing. And they sat him behind two quarterbacks that weren't even close as how good as he was. Joe Burrow is an LSU Tiger. He's definitely not a Buckeye. I don't care if he grew up in Ohio. They didn't play him and he left. All right, come on now. All right, here we go, finally. Hey, big shocker there, right? Joe doesn't look too happy, does he? Oh, poor Joe. He's like, God damn it. I'm going to go Cincinnati. Well, he's got A.J. Green, if A.J. Green can stay healthy. But Cincinnati's another team. They need a lot of positions, man. They need a hell of a lot more than just Joe Burrow, that's for sure. Joe Burrow's used to playing for two very winning teams in college, Ohio State and LSU. That's not going to be the case for the next few years in the NFL. But he's going to have a lot of money, though, so that makes it all better. Aaron Shore says Clemson is a great team, but still have miles and miles to be as great as Alabama. Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, geez. Coulter Gas says Simmons is the best fit for Washington according to ESPN. According to who on ESPN? That would be a shakeup. There's going to be a couple of shakeups in the top 5. For sure. Definitely, there'll probably be 3 or 4 shakeups in the top 10. I think once you get to pick 3, there's a good chance that the Dolphins might trade out. Because I know there's several teams that want to trade to that 3rd pick for whatever reason. Jacksonville is one of them. Possibly Carolina could. That's a rumor, although I don't think that's going to happen. But the first pick here with Joe Burrow was pretty anticlimactic because everybody knew that's where he was going. But and I think pretty much everybody believes that that Chase Young is going to go to Washington. I would think so. Yeah. Yeah, A.J. Green's still a Bengal. He was hurt all of last year, so he didn't play. But, yeah, he's still a Bengal. I wouldn't be mad with Derek Brown to go Watson. I wouldn't be. You know, there was an interview that was done a couple of days ago. I think it was yesterday, with David Gettleman. For those of you who don't know who David Gettleman is the general manager for the New York Giants, and he was the general manager of the Carolina Panthers before he went to New York a couple of years ago. He was the general manager of Carolina for 5 years, I think. 2012 or 13 to 2018. Anyway, I wasn't a big Gettleman fan. But one thing David Gettleman did do, I know how he drafts because he was at Carolina for so long. He made some really good draft picks in the first round. He made some terrible ones. But the one thing he did do is pick up Shaq Thompson, who is now linebacker number 1 in Carolina with the departure of Kuechly and Davis. Anyway, Shaq Thompson, when he was in college, he played at Washington, either Washington or Oregon. I think he played at Washington. Anyway, he was a hybrid player like Simmons is. He played every position on the defense, just like Simmons. He wasn't even listed as a linebacker coming out of college. He was listed as an athlete, and he went. I think they picked him like eighth with the 8th pick in the first round, something like that. And so Gettleman he's known to like defensive players, especially linebackers like Simmons. But apparently, he was quoted as saying yesterday that he didn't really think that Simmons was all as versatile as people said he was. I don't know if he was trying to throw other teams off, or if he's just so interested in filling another position, most likely offensive line, or if that's what it's all about. But if I had to guess, if I had to bet like real money on whether or not Gettleman for the Giants would draft Simmons, if he had the chance at number 4, I would bet that he would. I would bet that he would. Because he has a history of doing that exact thing. What's up, Geo1330? Yeah, Jerry Judy's going to be a baller. Henry Ruggs is going to be a baller. Higgins will be a baller. There's a bunch of really good receivers in this draft. Oh, look, it's Burrow. I wish they'd pull up the clips from a year ago with Mel Kiper saying that Joe Burrow is going to be drafted in the 6th round. Weatherman of college football. Sucks for whoever's going to Detroit. I'm about to go get some liquor. Anybody want a shot? I'm going to bring the liquor up here. The pick is in, folks. Chase Young. So that wasn't very surprising either, was it? Now, the next pick. Hold on, let me write these down so I don't lose track. The next pick is going to be extremely important. Will the Lions trade out of the third pick with either Miami or Jacksonville or Carolina? See, Burrow, number 1. Young, number 2. We'll see. DeGo Watson says he thinks the Lions are going to trade with the Jags. Listen, the only reason the Jaguars would trade up to number 3 from 9 would be to get a quarterback. So which quarterback would they be going after? It's got to be either Tua or Herbert. I guess you could put Love in there. But they wouldn't trade from 9 to 3 for anything other than a quarterback. They did get rid of Foles, right, to the Bears. So I guess it's possible. But do you know how much draft capital they're going to have to give up to trade from 9 to 3? A lot. It better be somebody they really, really want. I think the Jags would be better off just staying at 9. I would stay at 9 if I was them. Cheers. Woo! Man. I don't know if Chase Young's the best. He's the best pass rusher in this draft. Best player? That's hard to say. Jay Jobs wants to know, am I a southpaw? How'd you know? What did I do to make you know that? Yes, I'm left-handed. Although I do a lot of things right-handed too. But I write left-handed. In baseball, I bat right-handed. Throw left-handed. I golf right-handed. Yeah. Mostly left-handed. Yeah, when does Houston pick? Houston picks late. Wait a second. Houston doesn't have a first-round pick. Do they? No, they don't. They traded with Miami. Miami's got 3 first-round picks. I would tend to agree with that. Who said that? Coulter. Lions going Brown or Okuda. I would think so too. I would think most likely Okuda. I will tell you this though. During Clemson's pro day, and this doesn't really mean anything, in the grand scheme of things, because this happens all over. But at the pro day, the Lions head coach and the Lions scouts spent an awful lot of time with Brent Venables talking about Isaiah Simmons, and they liked him. Now, what do they? It depends. Again, this comes down to: do they want the hybrid linebacker, safety, cornerback guy, or do they want a lockdown corner, who's probably a sure thing lockdown corner in Okuda? So, If for some reason they didn't need a lockdown corner and they wanted a hybrid guy, they would definitely go after Simmons over Okudah. But if they're just looking for a corner, a cover corner, then Okudah's who they'll probably take if they don't trade out. Oh, the pick is in. They're not trading out. Yeah, Kinlaw's good too. I would take him on Carolina in a heartbeat. Pigskin Pete is a Boomer Esiason, Mike Vick, Steve Young, lefty, and Tua Tagovailoa. He's a lefty too because his daddy made him be one. Tua tried to write with his right hand. His dad said, "Stop that! You're gonna be left-handed, boy. Come on now." Did they take Okudah? Did I just miss that? Did they take Okudah? How the hell did I miss that? I guess they did. Yeah. All right. All right, Okudah. Number 3, 2, the Lions. Yeah, Okudah's he's a sure thing. He's as good as you're going to get at that position in the draft. So I completely understand why they did that. I was kind of hoping that, thinking that Simmons was going to go number 4 to the Giants, I was hoping that Okudah would somehow fall through a trade or something, through a trade with Jacksonville or somebody's trading up and taking the Lions spot, that somehow Okudah would fall to Carolina and they get him, but that's not going to happen now. Thomas Nolte, yeah, me too. There's not a lot that Carolina could do in the first round that would make me disappointed because they've gotten rid of all their great players other than Christian McCaffrey. So, literally anything on the defensive line, anything in the secondary, a linebacker or an offensive lineman, any of those positions I wouldn't be mad at with Carolina at 7. Now, selfishly, because I'm a Clemson fan, all right. I don't know what the hell's going on. My thing just crashed. All right, so we're here. Here we are at number 4 pick. The consensus seems to be, I know Bad Dog. You guys don't know who Bad Dog is. Bad Dog Sports. New York Giants fan. YouTuber. he really wants Isaiah Simmons. And if I were them, I'd want him too. But I'm not so sure. I'm not sure if they're going to take him or not. It's just too much. They're either going to go offensive line. I think the guy that they were talking about taking at offensive line was, what's his name? Tristan Wirfs from Iowa. That's the one that everyone seems to think they're going to take if they take an offensive lineman. I'm assuming it's going to be a left tackle. You know, it just says offensive line, but I think he's a tackle. Anyway, I hope they don't take him. I love you, Isaiah. I want you to get drafted as high as possible. I won't be mad at it, but selfishly, I want to see you in blue and black. Why would the Giants do that? Because first of all, to go Watson, I wouldn't do that. I'm just telling you what Giants fans that follow this shit are saying. I'm not saying that. Listen, I couldn't tell you which of these offensive linemen are better than the other. I know the guy from Georgia. The guy from Georgia, Andrew Thomas, is who you're talking about. All right? I'm just telling you what they're saying. Roberto LeBron, no, it wouldn't be 4 straight Buckeyes. You can't. The Buckeyes cannot claim Joe Burrow as far as being the number 1 draft pick. That's it. You can't have 2 teams claim the same guy. All right, it's just physically impossible. LSU gets to claim Joe Burrow. Sorry about your luck. Just the way it goes around here. Ugh. That was fucking terrible. They need outside. Well, the Giants need a lot of things. They definitely need offensive line help. Listen, there's out of 32 teams in the NFL, there might be 28 or 29 teams that desperately need offensive linemen. Offensive line it's becoming like one of the most popular positions in the NFL with the just the way that the game's evolving. So, anyway, here we go. Pick is in. Here we go. Odell Beckham Jr. getting smacked in the mouth by the kicking net. I'm not gonna be like, I hate New York sports teams. Being a Southern guy who grew up in South Carolina, I respect them, but I don't like them. And on top of that, I don't like Dave Gettleman. But he screwed Carolina over pretty badly for a few years there. Come on. Look at this YouTuber here. Look at him. That looks like what I'm doing right now. He looks just like me. That looks like my setup. My shit's cooler than his, though. Oh, I love watching all these damn ESPN guys turn into YouTubers overnight. And suck at it. Oh, look, it's Mel Kiper. The weatherman of sports. Always wrong and nobody cares. That's Mel Kiper for you. And Todd McShay. Todd McShay, you know why you're not seeing him tonight? I'll tell you why. Because he's got the Rona. I'm not laughing. I shouldn't laugh at somebody who has coronavirus. I apologize for that. Yeah. Anyway, he has the coronavirus. Oh, look at that. Who said that? Andrew Thomas, the offensive lineman from Georgia. DeGoat Watson. DeGoat Watson gets the Golden Globe Award, or whatever the hell it is. The prediction award for predicting that they would take Andrew Thomas instead of the other guy. Damn. That means that Simmons is still on the board. I think he could definitely go to Carolina now. Dolphins on the clock. So the rumor is that the Dolphins are going to be going after either Tua or Herbert, most likely. They're looking for a quarterback. That's the rumor. Which they do need one. Because why? Because I told you Josh Rosen ain't shit. Josh Rosen's no good. I told you that when he's being drafted. Everyone wanted to be Josh Rosen to be number 1 overall. I said Josh Rosen ain't no good. He's a fucking tennis player. He's a tennis player. He's a better tennis player than he is a football player. Did you know that? Little history for you. A little fun fact. Go look it up. Josh Rosen is a world-class tennis player. Problem is, he's not a world-class quarterback. Anyway. I'm having too much fun here. I hate to do this to you guys, but it's about to happen. We're about to go from 1080p to 120p, if that. Oh, look how terrible that is. Yep, now I'm looking like one of these ESPN guys up here in their basement. Nobody knows what the Dolphins are doing. I've heard everything from Tua to Herbert to Love, every quarterback on the board. Jordan Love. I've heard offensive line. I've heard Isaiah Simmons. Obviously, there's 2 players. The Dolphins drafted 2 players off of Clemson last year, and or in the past 2 years. So. If Tua doesn't go to Miami, he could fall into the 20s or definitely into the late teens. Now, you know what? This is a dead giveaway, the way they're shooting this. So, because it's in people's homes and they're doing this shit through Skype or whatever it is, or Zoom, they seem to be like keying in on the players. And they've been right every time so far. We'll see if this is a trend or not. I hope Tua does go high, man. You know what? I love Tua Tagovailoa. I do. He's one of my favorite college players I've ever seen before. I know he's got injury problems and all that. I just like him as a kid. I just like him. I like the way he plays. I like his attitude. I like everything about him. I hope he succeeds wherever he goes. It's hard not to like Tua. If you don't like Tua Tagovailoa, you're probably an asshole. And not like a a shit talker. You're a complete asshole. You're not a nice person. I mean, how do you root against a guy like that? I'd take Tua if I were them. Yeah, Dan Marino. Kelly Bryant to Miami says the real McCoy. Oh, what, in the 4th round? Yeah, maybe. I'm telling you what right now, Jay Jobs, you said Tua is nice, but business is business. I get it. I'm with you. Here's the thing, though. If Tua's healthy, and that's the unknown. So, I mean, that's the elephant in the room. No pun intended with the elephant with the Crimson Tide. That's the elephant in the room. Can he stay healthy? Hasn't been healthy the past 3 years for Alabama, but still put up astronomical numbers. I tend to think that the hip injury was a kind of a fluke. I mean, look, he just landed the wrong way. 2 guys fell on top of him. That wasn't like because he's brittle or injury prone. I mean, that could have happened to any player. Just a fluke accident. So, I don't know, man. If Tua's healthy, I think he's the best quarterback in this draft. I think he's better than Burrow. I think he's better than Love. I think he's better than Herbert. I just do. He's a better arm talent. And he's not going to be a problem as far as off-the-field issues. Now, I'm not saying any of the other guys will. I'm just saying that Tua is not going to be getting in trouble. You ain't going to see Tua at the strip club beating up women and shit like that. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Oh, they picked Tua. Well, good for Tua. I'm happy for Tua. So now you're going to have Tua Tagovailoa and Christian Wilkins on the same team. That'd be a hell of a combo there. One a quarterback and a defensive lineman. By the way. Oh, this is my favorite part of the show. So, do you guys remember a few months ago? I don't know, it was like maybe, I don't know what it was, 6 months ago? Walt Deptula. You remember Walt Deptula? You remember this guy? You remember this douchebag right here, right? Walt. There's Walt right there. Look at Walt. Hey, Walt. You fucking douchebag. Yeah. What'd you do? You blocked me on Twitter. Why? Why'd you block me on Twitter, Walt? Why'd you block me on Twitter, Walt? I told you why you blocked me on Twitter. Because I said that Tua Tagovailoa was going to go ahead of Justin Herbert in the draft. And this is before Tua Tagovailoa got hurt. This is when Tua was still healthy as a horse. And let's look at what Walt said. Let's look at what Walt said. He knows more about this than I do. Hey, Pixie and Pete, you idiot. I know more about this than you do. Stick around, buddy. Then what did he say? Then I said, oh, you know more than me, huh? This fucking hack of an afternoon drive radio host in the upstate of South Carolina is telling me he knows more about football than I do. This fucking guy sitting in his Ford Ranger. And he says, I said, oh, you know more than me, huh? He goes, oh, yeah. Look right here, the third one from the left. I know more than everybody. Not just you. Genius. I know more than you, genius. I've proven it over and over again. Go check the huddle report. Hey, where's the fucking huddle report now, dick face? Who even knows what the huddle report is? Is that what you call your meeting with your boyfriends? The huddle report? I know more than Mayock, McShay, Kuiper, and yes, you. Oh, shit. Hey, Walt. Hey, Walt. Hey, Walt. Hey, buddy. Here you go. There you go. I know more than Mayock, Kuiper, McShay, and yes, you. Fuckhead. What a fucking dipshit that guy is. Who hired this guy to be on the radio? Fucking Walt Deptula. Yeah, he blocked me. He literally blocked me on Twitter because I said Tua was better than Herbert. Or I didn't even say that. I said that Tua would be drafted ahead of Herbert. He got big mad. Did I miss the Chargers pick? No, they're on the clock right now. Damn, did I miss a whole pick when I was doing that Walt thing? Who did No, I didn't. What's up, Kenneth C? How you doing, sir? Oh, I'm having a laugh. Yeah, he's definitely a joke. That's for sure. Fucking Walt Deptula. What a douchebag. All right. So who do we think is going to the Chargers? We got let's see, Andrew Thomas from Georgia went to New York. Tua went to the Dolphins. Let's see, 6. The Chargers. Who do we think the Chargers are going to pick up? All right, so I'm seeing Justin Herbert. I'm seeing Love. Yeah. Yeah, Herbert, I think. If I had to guess, I'd say Herbert. I think I had them in there in my mock. I didn't even bother posting my mock on YouTube because last year I did that and it was a disaster. Not my mock wasn't a disaster. My mock was actually pretty damn good. The reaction was a disaster though. Plus with the coronavirus, I just haven't had time to do it. But yeah, and you know what? Again, so the thing that you've seen here so far tonight with this crazy setup they have going on, I think logistically, they almost have to know what the most likely pick for the player is, and they're zeroing in on them. So we'll see who they're zeroing in on here with their Skype feed or whatever. I got a conspiracy theory going on here. I'm the anti-conspiracy guy, and I've got the conspiracy about the way they're shooting this. Pick is in. Yeah, I think. Did they show Herbert at home? The Goat Watson says, I guess no player will cry in this draft. Well, they might. Because, or they might not, because they've been crying for the past 6 weeks. Like the rest of us. All right, here we go. The pick is in. Herbert. There hasn't been that many. I expected more drama and more surprises in the first 6 picks than this. I thought once you got past Burrow and Young, that 3 through 10 would be kind of shaky. That hasn't been really the case. I guess the Andrew Thomas pick was a little bit of a surprise for New York, but again, like I said the whole stream before, that I wouldn't be surprised if they took an offensive lineman, which they did. I didn't know if it would be him though. 2 at 5 to the Dolphins, not a big surprise. Herbert 6 to the Chargers, not a big surprise. So nothing really. Hold on now. Panthers are on the clock. Hold on. Panthers on the clock, baby. Oh, I hope they picked Simmons. I would take Simmons. I would take Derek Brown. I would take any of these offensive linemen, whether it be Jedrick Wills Jr., Tristan Wirfs, Mekhi Becton from Louisville, Josh Jones from Houston, Ezra Cleveland from Boise, Caesar, whatever the hell you want to call him, Cesar Ruiz from Michigan. I'd take any of them. Grant Delpit from LSU. I'd take him. I don't want to see him taking a wide receiver. Somebody said Jerry Jeudy. No. Listen, I love Jerry Jeudy. I would not be upset if I had Jerry Jeudy on my team, but I don't want – Carolina is so broken as a roster right now. You've got to build from the inside out. You got to build from the offensive and defensive lines outwards. So, yeah, offensive line, defensive line, linebacker, that's what I'm looking at. That's what I want. One of those 3. But I'd take a lockdown corner, a good safety, something like that. The pick is in. I'm getting nervous. No, they went to commercial. Oh, it's got to be Simmons. If it's Simmons, I'm going to celebrate like there's no tomorrow. If it's Simmons... Well, first of all, if it's Simmons, there will be a Simmons jersey here in about 5 days. Roberto says Pete would rather have T. Higgins than Judy. Did I say that? You said that. I didn't say that. Two different kind of players. I wouldn't want either one of them for the first pick with the 7th pick. So there's my answer as far as that goes. I want it to be Simmons pretty bad. I'm not going to lie. If it's not Simmons, here's the order I would like him to be in. If it's not Simmons, I probably would like to see either Kinlaw from South Carolina or Derek Brown on the defensive line or Grant Delpit. That's the defensive side of the ball. I take any of these offensive linemen. Tristan Wirfs from Iowa. Jedrick Wills from Alabama. Yeah. That's about it. I don't want to see any running back taken. I don't want to see any wide receiver taken. Everything else is game. J Job says Carolina Panthers are going to take Derek Brown from Auburn. I wouldn't be mad at that. I wouldn't be mad at Derek Brown. James Jackson, welcome to the stream. I'm sure if you're here, you're amazing and fantastic. I already know that you are. Says, what do you say? Lost him. Oh, he said we need to replace Luke Kuechly. Yes, I agree. 100%. What better guy to do that than Isaiah Simmons? Look, Isaiah Simmons is the best linebacker in the draft. It's not even close. It's Isaiah Simmons. The next guy is fucking miles ahead or below what Simmons is. That's all there is to it. So, if they want to replace Luke Kuechly, which they do need linebacker help pretty badly, then Simmons is the only guy to do it. Here you go. Come on, let's get to it. I'm starting to sweat. Come on, Matt Rule. Don't let me down, buddy. What's up, Giggled? Hound Dog. Here to react with the Panthers pick with you. Thank you, sir. Here we go. The pick is in. Hey! I'll take it. I was really hoping he was about to say Isaiah Simmons, though. I'm not going to lie. I said it. Defensive lineman from Auburn, Derek Brown. Look at that dude in the background wearing a damn mask. Nobody in the whole house is wearing a mask except for the dude in the background. What in the hell is that? Look, I'll take it. Again, I'm not mad at defensive tackle. I'm not mad at defensive end. I'm not mad at linebacker, cornerback, or safety, or offensive line. So, I'll take it. That dude's an absolute monster. I can't believe that Isaiah Simmons is still on the board after 7 picks, though. I really can't believe that. I really can't believe it. I'm in shock right now. I thought I was convinced. I'm happy with Derek Brown. I was convinced that if Simmons was still there at 7, that there's no way he would drop past Carolina. I didn't think there was any chance. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Now I'm trying to think. I think Arizona is going to go with a receiver. I think you can see either Ruggs or Judy come off the board right now at Arizona, which would Jacksonville at 9. Jacksonville at 9 might end up with Simmons. I can't believe Simmons fall out of the top 7. My mind is blown. Although Arizona's got a lot of needs too. They need offensive line help. They might take one of these offensive linemen. They might take a receiver. I don't know. They need a lot of help too. Kyler might want CD Lamb, but that don't mean that the that the Arizona front office wants him. CD Lamb would be a good one. Judy would be a good one. And look, Lamb, Judy, Ruggs, Higgins, all four of those guys would be good picks. I think Judy's going to be the first one off the board, though, most likely. Cardinals pick is in. We'll see, man. I feel like they're going to take a wide receiver. If they don't take a receiver, they're going to take an offensive lineman. That's what I think. I know BVD is a Arizona fan. I wonder who he wants. Will we see Simmons go at number 8? Or will they take a receiver or an offensive lineman? Here we go. The pick is in. Oh, God damn it. One pick away. Now, look, I'm happy with Derek Brown. I'm happy. Again, they have so many positions. But one pick away. I would have rather seen him fall to 10 or 11 just to get away. Congratulations, Isaiah Simmons. I'm not going anywhere. I'll be right back in about 2 minutes. All right, the pick is in for the Jaguars. Will the Jaguars take a quarterback? That's what everyone wants to know. Jordan Love is still on the board, and Jordan Love is a baller too. They got rid of Nick Foles, traded him to the Bears for I think like a 4th round pick or something. We'll see what happens. It's only a matter of time. Within the next 2 or 3 picks, we'll see at least one of these wide receivers go off the board. Probably either Jerry Jeudy or Henry Ruggs III, if I had to guess. They'll probably be the first 2 quarterbacks off the board. I mean, wide receivers off the board, not quarterbacks. Man, look. I didn't think there was a chance in hell that Isaiah Simmons would make it out of 7. I didn't think there was a chance in hell. And he went at 8. Coulter Gas says CeeDee Lamb. That's another good one. He says Jacksonville's taking Wills out of Alabama. Offensive lineman. We'll see. Bama Boy says, I would draft C.J. Henderson right now. Get a quarterback or receiver. You think Cleveland will take a wide receiver? I don't know. Cleveland's another team that needs offensive line help. Most of these teams need offensive line help, and you've still got Andrew Thomas is off the board. You still got Wills, Wirfs, Becton, Jones, Cleveland, and Ruiz all still on the board. Those are all projected to be first-round picks. So Jags definitely need offensive line. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them do that. A surprise pick would be if they picked Love or Eason. Eason's another one that, but I don't think. Listen, that'd be the surprise of the draft if Eason went as high as 9. One thing that's surprising me so far is here we are at the 9th pick. I expected to see probably 2 trades by now, and there's been none. No trades. So, other than Simmons falling to 8, really not a whole lot of drama tonight. At all, so far. Which is kind of disappointing. You know, we like to see the drama happen, but everyone's playing it safe. All right, here we go. The pick is in. TJ Henderson. Who said that? Somebody just said CJ Henderson a minute ago. Who was that? Somebody just said it. I don't remember who said it. I'm trying to scroll back. I can't see who it was. Somebody just said it. Speak up or for now, forever hold your peace. Somebody said Henderson a minute ago, and that's exactly who it is. And my cable just cut off. It went to some religious show. The hell? All right, so the Browns are on the clock with the 10th pick. And J Jobs, you're the one that said it. All right, props to you, J Jobs. The Browns pick is the one that I'm least sure about. Somebody a minute ago said C.D. Lamb or Jerry Jeudy. I think that Henry Ruggs and Jerry Jeudy are probably the two best. Listen, no shade being thrown at C.D. Lamb. He's an amazing player too. What I've heard or read a lot of is that John Gruden is infatuated with Henry Ruggs. So if he's still there when the Las Vegas Raiders pick, that's gonna take some getting used to saying, the Las Vegas Raiders. If he's still there at number 12 when the Raiders pick, I think they'll take Ruggs. But we got Cleveland, then the Jets, then the Raiders. Well, we'll see. I would not be surprised to see Cleveland go offensive line here. Pick is in already. Thank God. I see some guys saying Wills. Tanner Lowry says Wills will be going to the Browns. I see Jay Jobs says Wills or he says Wills. Coulter Gas says either Lamb or Wills. So looks like everybody's saying Wills. We know who old Baker Mayfield wants to be drafted, right? He definitely wants Wills. Keep him upright for more than 2 minutes during the game. Baker Mayfield has been running for his life ever since Joe Thomas retired. Joe Thomas retired right when Mayfield got drafted. So. Yeah, where you at, Walt? Where you at, Walt? Yeah, I know where he's at. He's deleting his Twitter account right now. He's like this. Block, block, block. Delete, delete, delete. Here we go. Wills. All right, so you guys had that right. You guys had that right. All right, so with the number 11 pick is the Jets. I'm going to be honest with you. I have no friggin' clue what the Jets are going to do. Nothing. I'm assuming they might take an offensive lineman too. They've got who they think is their franchise quarterback in Sam Darnold. You got to protect him. Yeah. So we have still yet to see, here we are at the 11th pick, we are still yet to see a wide receiver off the board or a running back. Not surprised about the running back. I thought we would have seen maybe either Jeudy or Ruggs or Lamb off the board. One of those guys, at least, off the board by pick 11, but no. Tell you one thing, though. If the Jets don't take a wide receiver, then I think we'll definitely see the Raiders take one. The Raiders, look, the Raiders' best receiver is a guy named Hunter Renfrow. A guy named Hunter Renfrow. Right there. That's their best receiver. They need receiver help. Some would say they need a quarterback. Would John Gruden pick Jordan Love? I don't know. I think he would have. It'd have been more likely to see if Herbert was still on the board to see the Raiders pick Herbert, but I don't know about Love. I think Love's going to end up in New England if he doesn't get picked up in the next three. Let's see here. Jets, no. If he doesn't get picked up by the Raiders, no. Indianapolis, no. Tampa Bay, no. Denver, no. Denver's got Drew Lock. Atlanta, no. Dallas, no. Pittsburgh, maybe. 18 for a quarter. First of all, Pittsburgh, that's another really interesting one. But no, Pittsburgh traded their pick to Miami, so they only know. Never mind, Pittsburgh doesn't get to pick. Chicago, no. Oh, but the Raiders have the 19th pick that was traded to them by Chicago, so they could get him then. So the Raiders have 2 picks in the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They have 2 out of the next 7 picks. The Raiders do. So how do you play that? First of all, does anybody think that the Raiders are even in the market for a quarterback in the draft in the first round or two tonight, especially tonight? I'd say yes. I'd say they are. I'd say they're going to try to draft Carr's replacement. First of all, Carr, while he's good, hasn't been able to stay healthy from at least half of the time that he's there. And they got to you can't win without a quarterback. And they got to have somebody that that's worth the shit to help them out. McD Sports 4 says no. Roberto LeBron says he needs a Gruden grinder. Yeah. Well, Carr might be the starter, but you got to have a guy that can back him up. And Carr might not be the guy next year. Either Judy or Lamb. Scumbag Walt. Hey, Walt. Just a reminder to you. I know more than you. I know more than Kuiper, McShay. Fucking Walt. Raiders going to trade for Watson? No, they're not. Who said that? Asher Moore. Come on now. Everything I do gets demonetized, sir. Just believe me. Don't worry about that. What's with all the fingers tonight? What do you want me to do? I don't know. I'm sitting here by myself. All right? Just me. Just me and you. Just me and you. The pick is in for the New York Jets. All right, so I'm saying either wide receiver or offensive line. That's my guess. What's your guess? Lee Smith channel is drinking Corona. What about everybody else? Let's see what I got here. This is actually a Georgia beer from the Terrapin Beer Company in Athens, Georgia. It's called Luau. It's a Tua beer. It's a Tua Tagovailoa beer. It's a Luau. But it's also Carolina Blue. This is actually pretty good. It's passion fruit IPA. No, pretty good though. Coulter Gas drinking water. Clemson Carson's drinking Mountain Dew. Giggled is drinking sweet tea. You guys are all lame. I'm just kidding. Clemson Carson says Lamb is going here. Tiger Nation smoking weed. Jay Jobs drinking Powerade. Hey, look, he said the same thing I said. He said we haven't had a trade yet. True. Yeah, hey, someone do that. A Crimson Brave 2020. Somebody go find Walt Deptula on Twitter. His name is Deptula Has Rage. That's his name on Twitter. Somebody go to his channel and let him know that Pete knows more than him about football. So please do that. And then send me a screenshot of it. I'd love to use it on YouTube. But here's the thing that will happen. You better screenshot that comment quickly because he's going to block you within 2 seconds. Oh, Mekhi Becton from Louisville, offensive line. So still no wide receivers off the board, still no running backs off the board. I think that's going to change right now. Right now, the Las Vegas Raiders are on the clock. I think you're going to see Henry Ruggs III. Henry Ruggs III is going to be taken by the Las Vegas Raiders. That's my prediction here. Sorry, I'm catching up on my my recording of who picked who when. Simmons was number 8. Number 9 was... Who's number 9? Number 9 was Wills. 11 was Becton. Giggle says wide receiver. Yeah, someone please do it. Go troll Walt Deptula and name a Pigskin Pete. And then screenshot it and send it to me. Asher says, I think Walt blocked me. Yeah, he blocks everybody. Russell Harrison says he's drinking whiskey and Coke. That's my kind of man right there. I'm drinking vodka, Corona, and whatever this Luau shit is. Luau IPA, which is actually pretty good, by the way. But yeah, whiskey is definitely my drink of choice. Did I ever try cream cheese on pizza? No, sir, I'm not a communist or a crazy person. I don't know. I probably did do that back in my high school days when I was a stoner. Probably put everything on everything and ate it. Who is Walt Deptula? His name is Walt Deptula. And that's a good question. I didn't know who he was until I commented on his Twitter and he blocked me. He's an afternoon drive radio host in the upstate of South Carolina for the Roar. And he talks like this. He's got the radio voice that nobody wants to hear. There's no way anybody walks around talking like that. Imagine going to the gas station and prepaying for your gas and walking in there and going, "Hey, I'm Walt Deptula. Can I get $10 on pump 10, please?" He fucking talks like that. Like fucking douche. All right, here we go. Have you guys seen this this stadium in Las Vegas? It's unbelievable. That's going to be like Jerry's World times 10. They're probably going to have poker tables and shit inside the stadium. That's crazy. It's going to be like a casino with football. I'm telling you right now, if I was a player and I was 22 years old, 23 years old, whatever it is, multi-millionaire overnight, move me to Las Vegas, bad news. If you would have gave me millions of dollars, not forget football, if you would have given me, Pigskin Pete, $10 million at the age of 22, no wife, no kids, and moved me from South Carolina to Las Vegas, it would be over, Jack. I probably wouldn't be alive right now. It's probably a good thing it didn't happen. Here we go. I told you. Did I call it? I said they would take Henry Ruggs the third, and they did. So the first wide receiver is off the board, and it's the guy I told you they would take. John Gruden was very vocal about his love for Henry Ruggs. Very vocal. I told you. That's my first correct prediction. Well, no, I was right about Joe Burrow prediction. I was right about Chase Young prediction. Let's see who else was I right about. I was confident about the Okuda at number 3. Herbert at number 6 if he fell that far. Tua to the Dolphins. I completely whiffed on Carolina. And I got Ruggs at 12. So I'm about 50-50 right now as far as my predictions. Of course, it gets a lot harder the further into the draft you go. But Coulter Gas says that San Francisco is going to draft Xavier McKinney. And I don't know. I think San Francisco is going to go with Jerry Jeudy or CeeDee Lamb. I think they're going wide receiver as well. That's my prediction here. So we'll see here. No. I haven't been drinking too much. I'm fine. I just started drinking when this stream started. Yeah, Burrow was a gimme. I think Chase Young was a gimme. Probably. Outside of that, there was really no gimmies. So go ahead and type in the chat right now. What do you think San Francisco is going to do? I'm going to say either Jerry Jeudy or CeeDee Lamb. I think they're going wide receiver here. If you watch the San Francisco Super Bowl, which everybody did in the world, they were loaded at every position. Defensively, they're loaded. They've got their quarterback for the time being. They've got their tight end. They got their running back. I guess offensive line, but I'm going to say receiver is the weakest position on that team right now. So, I'm saying wide receiver. Final answer. I guess McKinney could be one. Thomas Nolte wants to say that Kinlaw, who's the defensive tackle for South Carolina, is going to be the pick. That's a good one too. But they're loaded on defensive line. They've picked in the first round defensive linemen like the past 5 years, and it's paid off for them because their defensive line's absolutely loaded. But they need big time help at wide receiver. What is this guy? Henry Ruggs is in a robe. He's doing the NFL draft real coronavirus style with the robe there. I like Ruggs. Giggled says cat. Question mark. Ruggs dropped 2 passes against LSU. Huh? Ruggs a baller, man. All right, so there's 2 minutes left on San Francisco's time clock here. I like to see it get down to 0 and they take the fucking pick away from them for being idiots. That's what I like to see. Just take the pick away. Man, you took too long. You can no longer get a pick. I'm not surprised that Ruggs went ahead of Judy. The only reason I'm not surprised that Ruggs went ahead of Judy is because I heard John Gruden himself say how much he liked Henry Ruggs. So that's why I thought he was going to go there. They traded the Buccaneers. What are the Buccaneers trading for? All right, hold on a second here. So Tampa Bay trading up from 14. Huh? The Bucs just traded up 1 spot? What the fuck are they doing? What are the Bucs doing? This is is Slim Shady Canes in here? This is why the Buccaneers are the Buccaneers, sir. Why are you trading up from 14 to 13? What are you planning on getting out of that? Look, Tristan Wirfs. That's who they're going to take? You traded up a spot to get Tristan Wirfs? Let's see if they pick him. If they traded up 1 spot to get an offensive lineman, I'm going to laugh. That's for sure. Look at Bruce Arians. This is why Tampa Bay is Tampa Bay. I can't wait to see who this is. What was so important for them to trade up 1 spot in the middle of the first round? Where's Slim Shady Canes at? If they traded up 1 spot to get an offensive lineman, I'm going to laugh. Not saying it's a bad pick, but did they really think that the pick wasn't going to be there in 1 pick from now? Why would you give up draft capital to move up 1 spot in the middle of the first round to pick an offensive lineman? That would be the craziest shit I've ever seen. And I've seen a lot of crazy shit. If it's Christian Wirfs for... Tristan Wirfs, not Christian Wirfs. That trade was not needed. I agree. The only way I could see somebody trading up in the middle of the first round would be to get a quarterback. But they got Tom Brady. Are they really trying to grab a quarterback right now? I can't see them trading up to get an offensive lineman. I can't. Are they trading up to get like Jordan Love? Let's see. Here it is. Pick is in. Worfs. I'm not saying that's a bad pick, but you traded up one spot for that? What did they give up for that? Somebody tell me what they gave up for that trade. Obviously they traded their first round pick, but they must have traded a later pick too, maybe like a fourth round or something? I'll never understand the way these guys pick. I'll never get it. Did they think he wasn't going to be there? Wow. The first trade we've seen in the draft in the first round was one spot for a tackle. Yeah, 2020 is really crazy. Unbelievable. All right, so now San Francisco's on the clock again. San Francisco just completely played Tampa Bay like a fiddle. So they traded one spot down in the first round. They're still going to get whoever they wanted, which is probably either CeeDee Lamb or Jerry Jeudy, if I had to guess. Or maybe maybe a defensive back. But anyway, they're still going to get what they wanted before that trade, and they probably picked up a late rounder from Tampa Bay. So we'll see. Gerald Hicks says Judy's going next. That's a good bet. I'm thinking once we get down to the end of the first round, I think there's a chance that the Eagles could take a receiver. I love the receiver class here, so I'm looking at receivers right now. I'm thinking it's possible Denver could take a receiver. It's possible the Eagles could take a receiver. It's possible Seattle could take a receiver. I think Green Bay will take a receiver. That's not till pick 30. And then, of course, San Francisco has another pick due to a trade at 31. Yeah. Where's O.J. Howard going to be traded to? Why would they trade O.J. Howard? I don't think he'll be traded. Yeah, I don't think he'll be traded. Be back in 2 seconds. All right. The pick is in for the 49ers. I'm thinking they're going to take Jerry Jeudy or CeeDee Lamb. They need receivers in the worst way. What do you guys think? I'm seeing Xavier McKinney. I'm seeing Lamb. I'm seeing Jeudy in the chat. Jordan Bowman says this draft has been interesting. Yes, it has. All right, here we go. Roger Goodell's dorky ass. Oh, Kinlaw from South Carolina. Wow. I'm not surprised about that. I thought he would go in the top 15. That was, what was that, the 14th pick? He's a monster. He's good. I thought they were going to take a receiver, though. So my prediction is that San Francisco still has a pick at 31. At that time, the receivers left on the board are probably going to be maybe Higgins. Might still be there at 31. Jefferson. Chenault out of Colorado. Pittman. There's a bunch of receivers, man. The kid out of Arizona State, Brandon Ayuk. How do you say his name? Ayuk, something like that. Bunch of receivers. San Francisco will definitely take a receiver. If I had to bet money on it, San Francisco would take a receiver with their next pick in the first round at 31. We'll see. Denver is on the clock. Now, I have no idea what Denver's going to do here. No idea. We've yet to see a running back off the board. We've seen one receiver, one linebacker, 3 offensive linemen, and 3 quarterbacks. And 2 defensive backs? Yeah, 2 defensive backs so far. So what does Denver do here? I'm not going to even pretend to know like I think I know what Denver's going to do here. I have no idea. What are your thoughts on it? I'm seeing Jeudy. Jeudy. I'm seeing Ayuk. Coulter Gas says Denver will go Jeudy or Lamb. J Job says Lamb. So, all right. Yeah, I'm trying to think of the top wide receivers for Denver right now. They've got Locke. Locke played really good at the end of the season last year for them. I'm not gonna lie. He was kind of a surprise, honestly. I wasn't sure that Locke was going to look as good as he did, in his rookie year, and he did. But they definitely need wide receiver help. I think that Denver's another team that needs a lot of help, though, in the different positions. But pick is in. The pick is in. Is that Judy's house? Whose house is that? They're celebrating like they got the call. Oh, that's the Kinlaws. Never mind. Man, San Francisco is loaded on defense. They were already loaded before they picked Kinlaw. They are loaded on the defensive line. That's like the 6th year in a row that the 49ers have taken a defensive lineman with their first pick. Just think about that for a second. And they were in the Super Bowl last year for a reason, and that's one of the reasons. The Falcons will take Chison. Thomas Nolte thinks that they will get the Higgins with the 31st pick. I think Higgins might go as low as 21 or as high, whichever way you're looking at it, as high as 21 to the Eagles, or could fall all the way to Baltimore, Tennessee, or Green Bay at 28, 29, or 30. I think he'll definitely go in the first round, though. Highest he'll probably go, though, is probably to the Eagles at 21. I know Green Bay's been interested in Higgins, according to the Green Bay YouTubers that I watch. All right, here we go. The pick is in with the Broncos. Judy! With the 15th pick, Denver takes Jerry Jeudy. So, not surprised about that. I said either Jeudy or Lamb because they need help at wide receiver. And Jeudy is an absolute baller, so not surprised about it at all. That's pretty typical of a team that's picking mid-round, somewhere between 16, 17, 18, somewhere around there, that needs offensive help to take a receiver. That's usually where the receivers fall, unless you're like ridiculous wide receiver talent, like a Randy Moss, Julio Jones type, receiver to go in the top 10. It's hard for receivers or running backs to go in the top 10. All right, Atlanta's on the clock here at 16. Oh, man. Whoever they pick, I hope sucks. That's all I know. That's a great pick at 15. That's a great pick at 15. So, yeah, 2 Alabama receivers in the top 15. And Ruggs and Judy. And both of them are beasts. Bama Boy says Xavier McKinney going to my Cowboys. Bama is about to have 5 in the first round. McKinney will likely go 17th. 17th pick goes to Dallas. We'll see, brother. J Job says Atlanta wants a DT. They've got a Clemson boy at D tackle. They got rid of Vic Beasley at defensive end, though. I don't know. Vic Beasley played both defensive end and linebacker in Atlanta, but they got rid of him. So who would be the next defensive end off the board after Chase Young? We haven't seen another one since then. I'm guessing. I don't know who I'm guessing. I'm not guessing. Lamb is practically guaranteed 18th at the worst. 18th pick goes to Pittsburgh, or actually goes to Miami. Pittsburgh traded it out. Miami does need receivers. You're right. Here's what we're looking at, though. As far as the key positions, which everyone wants to talk about, is quarterbacks, right? So we've got Burrows off the board. We got Tua's off the board. We got Herbert off the board. We still got Love, Eason, Hurts, and Fromm. Love is the X factor in this whole thing. He'll go before Hurts and Eason, and definitely Fromm. So how far will Love fall? How far will Love fall? I think there's a pretty good chance you could see Love fall to, at the highest, the Raiders at 19 with their traded pick with the Bears. Jacksonville gets a pick at 20 and a trade with the Rams. And then New England at 23. So what did I just say? 19, 20, or 23. That's my prediction on where you'll see Jordan Love fall to. Let me write this down. Love, either 19, 20, 23 to New England. Then if you go past 23, if he doesn't go by then, you could go 29 Tennessee. And that's it. If Love doesn't go 19, 20, 23, or 29, he won't go in the first round. That's my prediction. We'll see if I'm right. J Jobs, everybody's bracket's busted. As soon as there's one trade, your bracket's busted. And who would have thought that you would have seen Simmons fall past New York, past Carolina? That busted everybody's bracket. I didn't see a single mock draft. I didn't see a single Mel Kiper. I didn't see a single Todd McShay. I didn't see a single YouTuber. I didn't even see a single Walt Deptula hack radio host, afternoon drive guy in the upstate of South Carolina predict that Simmons would fall to 8. So, Ballard, if the Panthers take a quarterback tomorrow, I'm burning this jersey and every jersey I own. They took they took that idiot last year in the 3rd round from West Virginia. Oh, waste of a pick. A.J. Terrell, I think, will go late in the 1st round. Probably somewhere between 25 and 32. Anywhere from Minnesota, Houston traded out of their pick. They don't have a 1st round pick. Minnesota, Miami, Seattle, Baltimore, Tennessee, Green Bay, San Francisco, Kansas City. A.J. Terrell, I think, if he goes in the 1st round, will go to one of those 6 teams. Will Grier, yeah. Will Grier. A waste of a 3rd round pick. All right, the pick is in for the Falcons. Here we go. The pick is in. Oh my God! Wow! 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 Wow. AJ Terrell at 16. I didn't see that coming. I thought he'd fall to the end of the first round. So, wow. Wow. Of all the teams to pick him up, it had to be the fucking Falcons. I would have rather this team go anywhere but the Falcons. Oh my God. That's the biggest mind-blowing pick of the night so far. I did not see Terrell going in the top 16. Not that he's not worthy of it. I just think it was going to happen. Wow. Wow. All these Clemson players are surprising me so far tonight. I didn't think that Simmons would fall to 8. I didn't think that A.J. Terrell would jump up in the top 20. And I got screwed on both of them. I wanted Simmons in Carolina, didn't get him. And then A.J. Terrell goes to the fucking Falcons. This has been a pretty bad night for me so far. Not that I'm upset about Carolina's pick, because I'm not, but who's on the clock? Dallas on the clock. Wouldn't that be funny if Dallas picked Jordan Love? Come here. Who's your favorite player in this draft? Simmons. Simmons?
Yeah.
You like Isaiah Simmons the best?
Yeah.
Is he a Clemson Tiger?
Last time I just got that off.
Yeah. Is Simmons a Clemson Tiger?
Yeah.
He is?
Uh-huh.
All right. No, he's not in a future Buckeye. Coulter says, Pasty and Pete, I'm calling it McKinney 17th, Lamb going 18th. All right, we'll see. I would agree with the McKinney 17th to Dallas. It's probably a good fair bet. All right, Thomas Nolte, brother. See you, man. Who is that awesome dude, Pigskin? That's my youngest. That's Pete Jr. He is awesome. He's amazing and fantastic. All right, so Dallas has 2 minutes left on the clock here. I don't know what they're waiting on. I love you too, buddy. He just came up and told me he loved me. Isn't that sweet? I'm agreeing with Coulter that they're trading. Look at Jerry Jones, old ass. He probably took about 3 Viagra. He's got a football Woody right now. Jerry Jones getting fat, ain't he? Getting a beer belly going on over there. CeeDee Lamb. No, the pick is in. Look at Mike McCarthy. He looks like he ate Jerry Jones. He looks like he ate Jerry Jones and one of his daughters. Mike McCarthy ain't missed a meal since 1984, has he? Good Lord. Man, the Cowboys ain't going to be good till fucking 2040, bro. If that. You know what? Who said that? Asher Moore says he thinks it's CD Lamb. I think it's CD Lamb just because they keep showing CD Lamb on Skype or Zoom or whatever the hell it is they're using. That's the only reason. That's my only reasoning. It's either going to be McKinney or Lamb, I think. Look, Mike McCarthy talking to Jerry Jones. That's like watching. Oh, here we go. Pick is in. CD Lamb. Well, you were almost right. You said Lamb next. You said McKinney to the Giants, then you said Lamb. You're almost right. I got the hiccups. Hiccups. All right, good pick. So the Dolphins on the clock at number 18 after they traded with Pittsburgh in last year's draft. Right? Anyway, Pittsburgh doesn't have a pick. It is Miami. Miami has multiple picks. Of course, they picked up Tua. They've got a pick now. And I'm looking to see if they have another pick. They do. They have another pick at 26. They have three. Miami has 3 first-round picks. They have a pick at 26, and they have a pick now. So, what is Miami going to do? What is Miami going to do? While we're waiting, there's a link in the description of this video and every video that I do live for Pigskin Pete and Clemson merchandise, and here is a little sample of what that is. All right, so Miami on the clock. Go ahead and tell me what your predictions are for the Miami pick. No, the music does not come with it. Jerry Jones is a nut. We need a safety. And you had Grant Delpit from LSU on the board, and he didn't take them, sir. And the Cowboys, as far as receivers go, they got Cooper. They just locked him into a long-term deal for a lot of money. So, yeah, I don't know. J. Job says they need to protect Tua. I think that's a good point. So, let's look at the offensive linemen. Wills is off the board. Wirfs is off the board. Thomas is off the board. Becton is off the board. So here's your offensive lineman if you're a Miami fan looking to protect Tua Tagovailoa for the next 5 to 10 years at least. You have Josh Jones out of Houston, still left on the board. Offensive line, you have Ezra Cleveland from Boise State, still left on the board. And you have Cesar Ruiz from Michigan, still left on the board. So if you're going to take an offensive lineman to protect Tua, it's going to be one of those three guys most likely. If they don't take an offensive lineman, where will they go? So Ruggs, Judy, and CeeDee Lamb are now off the board. So that takes care of the wide receivers, unless you include Higgins in there, which is very possible, by the way. What does the running back situation look like in Miami? That's what I want to know. We haven't seen a running back come off the board yet. Obviously, you still have Dobbins, Taylor, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Those are probably the top 3 running backs in this draft. None of them have been taken yet. What does the running back situation look like at Miami? Because they might need one. DeAndre Swift, another one. Thank you. Sorry. I'll write that down. I don't know how I missed that one. Swift is a good one. So there you go. That's 4 possible guys. LSU Tiger Cat, how are you? I'm sure if you're here, you're amazing and fantastic, but I already know that you are. Miami needs a running back. Okay. The pick is in. Clemson Carson says running back won't go till late first. But here's the thing. I would agree with that except for the fact that Miami's got 3 picks in the first round. And so they could certainly pick a running back here. Possibly. We'll see. Well, for all the people that said A.J. Terrell wasn't a first rounder, he went in the top 15. So they got completely clowned on that one. I saw him in, I think Mel Kiper had him going like number 30. So he was about 15 off. Oakland will take McKinney. They go Josh Jones to protect Tua. That's a good one. Josh Jones out of Houston. Okay, here we go. Pick is in. You guys hear my dog? Listen. Hey, Cooper. Come here. Oh. All right, so here we go. The pick is in. Oh, look, he said we got good news for Tua. He's already given it away. It's going to be Jones. Josh Jones. Austin Jackson. I didn't even have him on my list. Austin Jackson. What? I whiffed on that. I'm not going to lie. I whiffed on that. He wasn't even in my top 7 as far as offensive linemen went. So on the clock is the Raiders. The fact that they passed on Josh Jones and Ezra Cleveland for offensive line is surprising, but wow. This has been a crazy draft so far. All right, so I'm seeing Xavier McKinney to Las Vegas Raiders. All right, so we saw the Raiders took Henry Ruggs, wide receiver, Henry Ruggs III from Alabama with their first pick. They're back on the clock now. What will they do? I'd be surprised if they didn't take McKinney. Right? Or possibly one of these offensive linemen left, like Josh Jones, Ezra Cleveland, or Cesar Ruiz. That's my guess. Del Pitt, that's another good pick there. Clemson Tigers, good afternoon. Welcome to the stream. If you're here, you're amazing and fantastic. If you were basing draft stock on or off natties, we would have hand out a first-round pick to every Clemson player. Well, yeah, that's not what they base it on. Everybody knows that. Are the Dolphins desperate? They will take anyone this year outside of the Tua pick, of course. Well, yeah, the Dolphins are bad. So, yeah, they're like any of the teams that pick in the top 7 or 8 are desperate. Yeah, that's why they're picking in the top 7 or 8. Jacob Eason to the Raiders? Is that what you're saying? Nah, bro. I wouldn't be surprised to see Jordan Love. Jordan Love will be the next quarterback off the board. The question is, where will he go? I think Jordan Love will be. I guess Eason could be. But if I'm looking at Jordan Love or Eason, where they could go, we're looking at them following all the way till at least 23 with New England. There's not a quarterback coming off the board before 23. Between now and 23. I don't think. Probably see those guys, most of those guys going round 2, yeah. All right, the Raiders pick is in. Special announcement. This is the 2020 NFL Draft, you dipshit. What an idiot. He's the most overpaid person in America. Damon Arnett. What? I did not see that coming either. Not that it's a bad pick, just didn't see it coming. Jacksonville is on the clock. Jacksonville's on the clock at 20. Now we are, yeah, exactly. Now we are in the weeds in the first round. Yeah, well, Clemson Tigers, listen, man, there's no formula to picking what great players are. Most players you can tell when it comes to quarterbacks, whether or not they're elite or not. I mean, quarterbacks, the fact that Deshaun Watson was the third picked quarterback, Mitch Trubisky was the first quarterback taken in that draft was absolutely ridiculous. Anybody who didn't see that didn't know what they were looking at. I could go down a list of the past 3 or 4 years, at least longer than that, really. I mean, even Johnny Manziel, exciting college player. I didn't see it. I never saw what the NFL teams were infatuated with him about. But yeah, a lot of NFL scouts they're not that intelligent. You're right. And you would think that they would be. All right, the pick is in. Look at John Gruden. He looks like he's had a few Bud Lights. He's rocking the beer belly. All right, come on. Oh, they're gonna go to commercial now. Coulter Gas says McKinney will go to Philly. Jaguars, Kayvon Chaisson, edge rusher, LSU. He is a beast. I'm going to probably agree with you there. Who did Jacksonville take with their first pick? Can't remember now. Wills. They took Wills. So they took an offensive lineman with their first pick. I wouldn't be surprised to see them go defensive end or maybe wide receiver here. Here's the thing, though. Jordan Love is still on the board. Jacksonville doesn't really have a quarterback for the future. So, Jordan Love's still on the board. Jacob Eason's still on the board. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised to see if they took one of them guys. Well, I don't know if Simmons should have been the first pick because the team that had the first pick needed the quarterback, but I was shocked to see Simmons fall all the way to 8. That's for sure. I didn't think there was any way in hell that would happen. No way in hell. Gardner Minshew. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Gardner Minshew. My point exactly. Come on now. Yeah, Gardner Minshew, he's going to win a bunch of Super Bowls. He's that good, right? The pick is in. They're waiting forever for it. I mean, Clemson Tigers, most Clemson people, including myself, think that Simmons was the top 3 or 4 pick. Look, see, you're preaching to the choir, sir. But it all comes down to what people are looking for as well. I think the Giants should have taken him at 4, at the lowest. And if he went past 4, there's no way. I'm still pissed that Carolina didn't take him, but they didn't. BGPO Football Funk with a $2 super chat. Shocked about AJ's draft position. Yeah, I was. I'm not shocked that he was the first round. I was shocked that he was in the top 15 because he wasn't projected to go anywhere within the top 25 on any board that I saw. But I'm happy for him, though. He deserves it. All right, Jaguars pick is in. I've seen a lot of people saying McKinney. Shut up, Trey Wingo. No one cares. Just get to the pick, sir. That's all we care about. Could Kenneth Murray go 21st? 21st goes to the Eagles. Oh, here we go. Oh, who called that? Who said that? Asher Moore called it. Kavon Chason, from outside linebacker from LSU. Good call, sir. Good call. All right, so the 21st pick, the Eagles are on the clock. The Eagles, first of all, the Eagles need a lot of things. All right, Coulter, you called it too. The Eagles need a lot of things. They need wide receiver badly. They need offensive line. And we still have Josh Jones left on the board. We still have Ezra Cleveland. We still have Cesar Ruiz. All left on the board on the offensive line. They need safety. The Eagles need a lot. That's why they're picking 21st. Anyway, I'm going to say, as deep as this wide receiver class is, I think they might either go Justin Jefferson out of LSU, T. Higgins out of Clemson. You got Michael Pittman. You got a bunch of wide receivers on this class. Brian Edwards from South Carolina. Yeah, I think they'll either go wide receiver or offensive line. That's my guess. We'll see if I'm right. What do you guys think? What do you think for the Eagles? Wide receiver or offensive line? J. Job says Philadelphia Eagles, Justin Jefferson, wide receiver at LSU. Somebody just said who said that? Somebody just said Tanner Lowry said for the next pick, I think the Colts will trade up with the Vikings and take Jordan Love. Wow, that's a hot take. So, yeah, that would be surprising. I've heard that the Patriots might trade up to take Jordan Love or pick him when he's there. I haven't heard the Colts yet. That's a surprise. That's a interesting one though. I mean, they got Phillip Rivers for maybe a year, right? But yeah, so that's possible. Possible. All right, the Eagles pick is in. Clemson Carson says they're going Jefferson. Hot take, Kenneth Murray to the Saints. Minnesota Vikings via Bills. Denzel Mims, the wide receiver out of Baylor. Seeing a lot of hot takes on here. Mark Carty, yeah. The first night's only the first round. And then tomorrow night they'll do the second, third, and fourth rounds. And then Saturday they'll do fifth, sixth, and seventh round, I think. So Jefferson's the one they're showing on the board here. Which is probably who it'll be. Somebody said Jefferson a minute ago. Are the Vikings trading the 25th pick? No. Told you. Even Trey Wingo said that the Eagles need a wide receiver. So you're looking at there's a bunch of good receivers in this class. You're looking at Jefferson, Higgins, Chenault, Pittman, Edwards, the kid from Arizona State, Brandon Ayuk. I don't know how the hell to say his name. So we've already got two Clemson players off the board. Where will Higgins go? I think he'll definitely go in the first round. But will he go to the Eagles or will he fall to Seattle, Baltimore, Tennessee, or Green Bay? Here we go. The pick is in. Rager out of TCU. That's another one. I had him written down, I think. All right, so Eagles. Rager. Listen, he's good, but I'm a little bit surprised that he went ahead of some of these other guys in the draft. Not that he's not deserving of it, but I'd say the kid out of Arizona State, I would have taken ahead of him. I would have taken Higgins ahead of him. I would have taken the Colorado kid ahead of him, Chenault. I would have taken Jefferson ahead of him. So that's a little bit surprising. I thought that Rager was a second-round guy. Second or third round. I didn't have him in my first-round picks at all. He's not big. He's fast, though. You know, he reminds me of a little bit. He reminds me a little bit of Calvin Ridley from Alabama, but not quite as fast as Ridley. But he's good, though. Well, anyway, 22nd pick coming up, and it's going to be a Minnesota pick that was traded from Buffalo. What is Minnesota going to do? What is Minnesota going to do? All right, so if I had to guess, Minnesota, I'm going to say, I have no idea. I have no idea what Minnesota's going to do. I'm trying to think here. They traded away their top receiver to the Bills. So maybe a receiver for Minnesota. I think they're good on an offensive line. I'd be surprised if they took an offensive lineman. Running back. We still haven't seen a running back off the board. So you got Dobbins. You've got Justin. Or you got Taylor from Wisconsin. You've got Clyde Edwards-Helaire from LSU. Maybe a running back. I know they got Cook, but Cook was hurt. He's hurt 50% of the time he's been there. Let me think here. Defensive end. I don't know. I don't know what Minnesota State. Swift. That's another one. That's a good one. Yeah, I don't know. They need wide receiver. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too because of the trade they made. Well, that leaves the same guys that we just saw for the Eagles. Well, they took Rager, so that still leaves the same guys we were talking about. Brian Edwards, T. Higgins, Chenault, Pittman, Jefferson. Lots of wide receivers. If Clemson Tigers says, I still think Tennessee should take Higgins. If Tennessee takes Higgins, that would be ironic. Since he is a Tennessee kid. He probably would like that. When does Tennessee pick? Tennessee picks 29th. So, I don't know if he'll still be there by then or not. Maybe. New Orleans will take Murray. Pats will take McKinley. You've got every hot take in the fucking book, don't you, Poltergeist? You're just naming every player in every team. You can't be wrong, sir. You're playing the law of averages, aren't you? The Saints for Higgins, yeah. Listen, a lot of these for a guy like Higgins to go and somewhere between 20 and 32 would be a godsend because you look at the quarterbacks. Let's just look at the quarterbacks between. Where are we at now? We're at 22 now. Between 22 and 32. Look, you got 32 or 22 is Minnesota, which is on the clock now. Then you've got New England. Then you've got New Orleans, Drew Brees. Then you got Minnesota again. Minnesota's got 2 picks and 4 picks. 2 picks and 4 picks. Then you got Miami, who just got Tua. Then you got Seattle, who's got Russell Wilson. Then you got Baltimore, who's got Lamar Jackson. Then you've got Tennessee. Then you've got Green Bay, who's got Aaron Rodgers. Then you got San Francisco. Then you got Kansas City, who's got look. Anywhere between 22 and 32 or 23 and 32 would be ideal for any wide receiver to be picked. You've got more than half of those teams have future Hall of Fame or current Hall of Fame caliber quarterbacks on them. Vikings pick is in. All right, the pick is in. J. Job says the Chargers will take Jefferson. I'm still really fascinated with the fact that Jordan Love is still on the board. He's got to go in the first round. Minnesota's pick is in. Jefferson, wide receiver out of LSU. Not surprising. Not surprising at all. Number 23 on the board, on the clock, is the New England Patriots. Where's my man Clemson Carson at? Patriots fan. The Patriots are probably the hardest team in all of the NFL to predict what they're going to do. Bill Belichick is a mastermind of throwing people off. I was led to believe earlier today, when I was preparing for the stream tonight, that they would possibly trade up to pick up Jordan Love. Well, here's the thing. Jordan Love's still on the board, and they didn't trade up. What are the Patriots going to do? Are they tanking for Trevor Lawrence? Are they tanking for hold on. What is going on here? I thought New England had the number 23 pick. They're saying the Chargers have the 23. I thought it was New England. What the hell? How did that happen? So when does New England pick then? They traded? When did they trade it? Well, what the hell's going on here? When did they trade? The pick is in. And what did they trade for? They're not doing a very good job of letting people know what's going on here. All right, here we go. The pick is in. Why are they showing the fucking Vikings head coach? What is going on here? This is a shit show. That's what I'm talking about. When did New England trade? When did New England trade their pick? Did I miss something here? Here we go. The Patriots traded out of the first round. They they traded for second. That's actually not a bad deal. Actually, second and third round. So the Chargers are going to get a quarterback. That's what I think. It looks like the Chargers are probably going to take Jordan Love right here. That's my. Yeah, that's not what I meant. I meant defense. I think they're probably going to go after. But who would they trade up 2 consecutive rounds to get? In Delpit maybe? Would they be trading up to get Delpit? It's got to be a defensive guy. It's got to be. Jones? Tanner Lowry says Josh Jones, maybe. Oh, this is weird. Somebody they really want for them to trade their second and third round picks for this. But they did have an extra pick in the first round from this trade, so I guess it's it's not a bad move necessarily. Here we go. Pick is in. Murray. Linebacker from Oklahoma, Kenneth Murray. Wow. The only Coulter Gass is happy about that. The Sooners aren't known for the defense, but this guy's an absolute stud right here, Kenneth Murray. He was the shining light, the beacon, if you will, on that defense. And it wasn't even close. And apparently, according to this, he saved a woman's life last year with CPR. Which is definitely a reason to draft him. 6'2", 241. He is a baller, though. I feel sorry for that guy being on that defense. Yeah, he's a good player. Yeah, he's good. Ballard, he's a good player. Hold on. Hey guys, I hate to end the stream early, but I gotta run. Thank you to all the people that are watching. Thank you to all the super chatters, commenters. Hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscribe button, all that good stuff. I'll see you guys very soon. Sorry for the abrupt ending, but I gotta run. See you guys very soon. I love you. Stay amazing and fantastic. Pigskin Pete is checking out.